today's flow is just a nice friendly flow. We're covering sun salutations, warrior sequence, and then a nice flow on the floor, a little bit of core cultivation, and just lots of smiles, really focus on opening the heart, and just enjoying yourself. So enjoy. Okay, coming through to mountain pose. And your heels underneath your hips, little engagement of the abdominal area, and just tuck the tailbone down towards the floor. Open the heart. We're working through a heart opening sequence. So just really think about opening across the front of the body. And squeezing the shoulder blades together. Drawing the hands down towards the floor. Stretch the fingers. I'm just going to close the eyes just for a couple of breaths. So connecting the soles of the feet with the earth, keeping the eyes closed. Spread the toes. Just check your balance. Are you leaning forward? Are you leaning back? Try and lean, or just try and get some balance, equal weight between the fronts and the backs of the feet. One more breath. Opening the eyes, bring the hands to the heart. Working through Anjali Mudra today. So Mudra, our hands, our energy connection with our hands. That's our mudra. And then Anjali means offering. So what are we offering today? Who are you offering your practice to? Yourself, hopefully. Anyone else? Okay, maybe touch the heart with the thumbs. Okay, just get that nice connection with the heart. And then inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky. Exhale, release. And just do it a few more times. Inhale, lift. Draw the upper arms by the ears. Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale, lift, extending the spine. Exhale, releasing the shoulders and sweeping the arms down. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, lift, just keeping it nice and simple. Exhale, release. Hands come down by your side, and let's just do some shoulder rolls. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Couple more. Really important to just take your time doing this and warm up the body. Maybe some little neck rolls here. Okay, just whichever way works for you. So go clockwise or anti-clockwise, and then just make sure you go the other way. Wonderful. Okay. Come back to center. Bring your hands to your heart, and I'd like you to come to the top of your mat as we move through some sun salutations. So Surya Namaskar. Namaskars, sun salutations, they're like the roots of our practice. It's the common ground between yogis, the common practice between all of us to begin our practice and to end our practice. Okay, so bring the hands to the heart. Wonderful, looking straight ahead. Inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky. Exhale, sweep the hands away from you. Okay, pivot from the hips and come down through to your forward fold, tummy to thighs. Bend those knees, okay? We're going to warm up the hamstrings, okay? Release the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Halfway lift, straighten the legs. Bring the hands to the shins. Open the heart, nice flat spine. And then take the hands down to the earth, stepping back through to plank. Okay, so keep that heart open. Push through the heels of the hands to make sure you're not sinking in between the shoulder blades. Okay, pop the knees down and keep the elbows tucked, working our way through restorative chaturanga. So come through to cobra or upward dog. Inhale. And then exhale, pop those knees down on the floor, tuck the toes, and work through to downward dog. There we go. So your first downward dog,
Just check your alignment. Middle fingers facing forward. Roll the upper arms away from the ears. Lift the hips and lower the heels gently. Let the back of the head, the neck be long. Okay, the head is heavy. Breathing in and out through the nose. Lifting that belly button, drawing it to the lower back. One more breath. Okay, inhale, lift the right leg to the back of the mat, just nice and gently. And then sweep through in between the hands at the top of the mat. If it lands halfway, just lift it up and take it to the top of the mat. Left leg meets right leg at the top of the mat into your forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, back down to forward fold. And then sweep the arms wide, sweeping them up to the sky, straightening the legs, look up to the hands. Inhale, exhale, hand to heart, Anjali Mudra. Connect those hands, feel the energy between the hands. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky. Okay, really extend those fingertips. Exhale, heart's coming forward. Pivoting from the hips into a forward fold. Tummy to thighs. Keep those hips lifted a little more. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Step back to plank. Wonderful. Draw those heels to the back of the mat. And again, pop the knees down on the floor. Make sure that those shoulders are above the wrists. Okay, moving through your restorative chaturanga. Chest comes down, tummy. Keep the elbows tucked, move through to upward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Pop the knees down. Tuck the toes. Downward dog. Oh, it's amazing how quickly you get back to your downward dog, isn't it? Here we are again. Okay, breathe. We take about 3 or 4 breaths here. Feeling the backs of the legs opening, the quads, the glutes, the hamstrings, lowering the heels down to the earth. Make sure you're drawing down through the outsides of the feet. We don't want the knees rolling towards each other. Okay, inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, it sweeps through in between the hands. Take the right foot to meet the left at the top of the mat. Come into a forward fold. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, tummy to thighs. And now let's sweep the hands wide as we come up to lift the hands up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, hands to heart. Touch the thumbs onto the heart. Draw the elbows down to the earth. Close the eyes and just listen to your breath. 2 or 3 breaths here. Before we move into our next sun salutation using warrior. Okay. Opening the eyes. Bring the hands to the lower back. Okay, squeeze those elbows towards each other, looking straight ahead. Now the fingertips ideally should be up, but they can frame the waist. Up to you. See how your wrists are feeling. A little bend in the knees, just a little micro bend. Inhale. Look up to the sky, straighten the legs. Okay. Lift the chin. You can look straight ahead or look up to the sky. Draw those shoulders down to the earth, feeling the lower spine extending and opening. Wonderful. Now let's come through to our forward fold. So we inhale, exhale, forward fold. Okay, being led by the heart. And then take the hands down the backs of the legs. You might want to give them a nice little tap or a massage down to your forward fold. Release the head. Okay. In our forward fold, I just want you to stay there and work on opening the backs of the legs. Okay, so let the neck be long and heavy. And just inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, fold. Just working into the hamstrings before we move through to the next sun salutation. Okay, still warming up the body. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, fold.
Okay. Take your hands on top of your feet. Swipe your hands up the fronts of your legs, okay? So your shoulders are still rounded towards the floor. And you're coiling in, the energy's coming in. And then the energy's coming out as we roll those shoulders up and down, and you come back through to your mountain pose. Moving through to Utkatasana, to chair pose. We're going to hands are down by the floor. Okay, pop the hips back. And I want you to sweep those hands down to the earth, almost tickling the earth as you sweep the hands down, forward and up. Okay, pop the hips back. So you want to be able to look at your toes, okay? You don't want your knees covering your toes. Pop your hips back. Draw your hands up to the sky. So you can have the hands high, more of a solar practice. Draw the ribs in, tuck the tailbone down, or if you feel nicer or it just feels more comfortable, bring the hands further forward, look straight ahead, or more lunar Utkatasana, your choice. Take 2 more breaths. Pop the hips back, draw that tailbone down. It really will alleviate that curve in the lower spine. Okay, draw the hands together, Anjali Mudra. Hands down the center of the body all the way to your forward fold. Wonderful. Inhale, halfway lift. Straighten the legs. Flatten the spine. Lift the shoulders. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. Step back to plank. Okay, so just double check that the heels are coming towards the back of the mat. You're not drawing them towards you. Okay, draw them away from you. Working through your chaturanga, so knees down or legs straight, through to upward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Downward dog. Just a moment of silence. Use your breath just to guide you, connecting with the moment. Okay, inhale, right leg lifts off the floor, just up and back. Foot is flexed. Exhale, sweep that right foot through in between the hands. And then pop that left heel down. Okay, so you're in your warrior feet. Right hip back, left hip forward. Right knee is bent. Look forward, sweep the hands into Avira 1. Warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the hands down to the earth. We take the right foot back and we come back into plank. Working through your chaturanga, so knees down or legs straight into upward dog. Inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Flip the toes. Lift the hips. Keep the heels off the floor as you move into downward dog. And then lower them gently. Okay, inhale, left leg rises back and up. Drawing that right heel down to the earth. Exhale, sweep that left foot through. In between the hands. Right heel comes down. Right hip forward, left hip back. Coming through to our warrior. Vera on the left side. So square those shoulders. Draw down through the outside of the right leg. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come down to the earth. Come on to the back of the ball of the right foot. Left foot meets right foot into your plank. Keep the elbows tucked. Working through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale. Downward dog. Taking 3 or 4 breaths here. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears, stretching the fingers, drawing the navel towards the lower spine. The neck is long. If you feel that you would like to come into child's pose, go for it. Okay, take the gaze forward. Bend the knees, and you can hop to the top of the mat or you can step to the top of the mat. Feet straight, heels on the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, tummy to thighs. Release the head. We're going to take our hands, palms facing in behind us, like we're doing a ski jump, and work through back up into our Utkatasana chair pose. Inhale, and we're going to keep going. Exhale, hands together. Hands down the heart, the midline, down into forward fold. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, hands down to the earth, step back to plank. We're moving through our warrior sun salutation, but on the other side. Okay, so pop the knees down or keep the legs straight as you work through your chaturanga. Keep those elbows tucked. Chest comes down, tummy comes down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. We're keeping with the movement here. Okay, so inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, sweep through in between the hands. Right heel down, right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale, warrior one. Square those hips, look up to the hands. If you want to take the hands apart, go for it. If not, keep your hands in your mudra, and then hands come down the midline, down to the floor. Left foot back to right into plank. Okay, keep those elbows tucked. Work through your chaturanga. Upward dog. Meet you in downward dog. Wonderful, well done, guys. So, right foot lifts. Inhale. Exhale, sweep through in between the hands. Left heel down. Left hip forward, right hip back. Inhale, Vera one. Keep that right knee bent. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the hands down to the earth. Right foot back to left. Working through your chaturanga. So knees down or knees off the floor. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Wonderful. So option to stay here on your downward dog before we move through to a warrior sequence, or come into child's pose. So child's pose, keep the knees wide, toes together, forehead to the floor. So if you feel like you just need a little more of a restorative break in between the vinyasas, go for the child's pose, okay? Listen to your body. Don't be stubborn. So drawing down into the heels of the hands if you're in child's pose, just to pop the hips back. If you're in downward dog, just a couple more breaths. Wonderful. Okay, if you're in child's pose, let's come back through to downward dog. Take the gaze forward and you can step, jump, hop to the top of the mat. Wonderful. Come into halfway lift, hands to the shins. So straightening the backs of the legs. Exhale, forward fold. And then sweep the hands up the front of the body. Through to mountain pose. Okay, just take a couple of moments here, feeling the energy circling around the body. Close the eyes if you can. Just gives you that chance to go inwards. Forget about the outside world. Not forget about it, but just not get distracted. Okay, opening the eyes. Telling you to close them. Now you can open them. Okay. Let's take the hands to the lower part of the back. Again, squeeze those elbows in. Look up to the sky. Wonderful. Just breathing, opening the heart. And come up nice and straight. Now take the hands together down the lower back. So we're drawing the knuckles down to the earth. Look straight ahead. Okay, inhale.
Squeeze the palms together if you can and draw the hands down towards the earth, maybe drawing them slightly away from the backs of the thighs. Lifting the chin. Chin to chest if anything's going on with the neck. Now we're going to forward fold. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Keeping those hands together, maybe bend the knees. Draw the tummy down to the thighs and lift the hands up to the sky. Okay, that's it. So the hands can just come down to the lower back if that's nicer for the shoulders. If not, lift up towards the sky. You might be able to draw them towards the front of the mat. Go for it, but just don't go past your limits on this, okay? Breathing in and out through the nose. One more breath. Inhale, lift, exhale. Extend. And then let the hands drop to the floor. I always laugh at this point because it feels so nice just to release those shoulders. Wonderful. Step back through to downward dog. Here we go. Hopefully feeling a little bit more like the downward dog is your friend now. You're resting in this pose. Couple more breaths. Wonderful. Now I'd like you to bring your big toes, or your toes and your heels together. I'm asking you to bring your feet together. Lower your heels down to the earth. Inhale, left leg rises. So we just take the left leg back and then we release it back down to the floor to meet the right foot. And then as that left heel draws down to the earth, you lift the right leg up, back and up. Open the right hip, coming into split dog. Straightening the arms, drawing the left heel to the earth. Looking down towards the left toes. Opening that right side of the body, the left side of the left glute is opening, the back of the left leg. Point the toes on the right foot. And then look forward and sweep that right foot through in between the hands. Pop that left heel down into your warrior feet. Okay, make sure there's a lovely big gap between your right heel and your left heel. You might even just want to draw that left heel back slightly, keeping that right knee above the right ankle, sweeping up into warrior two. Warrior two. Let's not forget our positioning in warrior two, okay? It's good to get it right. So that left thigh internally rotates, okay? And that right thigh internally rotates. Okay, palms down. Soften the shoulders. Look over the right hands. The warrior. Again, our friend, the warrior. We know this one. We can connect with this one. This posture, this asana. Okay, inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand comes down. Right hand up to the sky, or you can take it further over. Pop that right shoulder away from the chin, feeling the right side of the body opening. Breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, come back through to warrior and come through to our extended side angle. So the right hand comes down to either the floor or a block, or you can bring your right elbow to the right knee. Okay. If you want, it's good to have a block here because it brings the floor up to you and allows you to open your heart further, open the front of the body, left hand up to the sky. We are just staying here. Okay. Breathing in and out through the nose. If you would like to bind, take the right hand underneath the right thigh, left hand behind, looking up to the sky. Come into the bend of the right knee. 2 more breaths here. Okay, take the gaze to the floor, release the hand. If you're in a bind, come back through to your warrior two. Okay, now we're going to come into Trikonasana, triangle, so straightening the right leg. You might want to just edge that left foot in slightly. Look over the right hand. Okay, we're going to come forward. That right hand is staying in one line. It's not going forward, not going down to the floor yet, okay? We're coming all the way forward. You're trying to reach something. Okay, someone's pulling your hand. Then take the right hand down towards the right ankle to the inside of the right foot onto a block. Left hand up to the sky. Engage that right glute, popping that right hip forward. Open that left hip. Big opening through the front of the body. Breathe. Look up to the left hand or just look to the side of the mat. One more breath. Okay. Look down to the earth. Bend the right knee back through to your warrior. Let's sweep the left hand up and down to the floor. Right foot comes back to left. Into your downward dog. Okay, so just check those hands and feet haven't crept towards each other. You want them hip and shoulder width apart. Maybe close the eyes. Maybe take an inhale through the nose and out the mouth. Okay, toes come together, feet come together. There we go. Right leg lifts up and releases back down. Left leg lifts up and open the left hip into split dog. And your left shoulder may pop up, so just draw it back in line with the right shoulder. The right leg is strong. Okay. Point the toes on the left leg. Breathe. Use your breath. Inhale, exhale, extend. One more breath. Now square the left hip with the right and sweep through in between the hands. Okay, right heel comes down. Coming through to warrior two on the other side, so just check that that right foot is not coming too close towards you. You need to extend it towards the back of the mat. You want a nice big gap between the heels. Sweeping up into warrior two. Okay, there we go. Soften the shoulders. Draw the knee towards the little toe side of the foot. Okay, just to open that inside of the thigh, psoas muscle. Look over the left hand. Make sure you're not coming too far forward. Right hand comes down, reverse warrior. Soften that right shoulder. Lift that left shoulder. Look up to the left hand. Come back through to your warrior two. And then we take that left hand down to the floor, down to a block, or the left knee, left elbow to the left knee, through to extended side angle. And if you'd like to bind, take the right hand behind and the left hand under the left thigh. Okay, now you don't want to hunch that right shoulder down to the floor if you're binding. This is all about opening the chest. Using your breath or using your ujjayi breath. Okay, left hand comes down, right hand up to the sky. If you're in a bind, take the gaze to the floor, come back through to your warrior two. As we move into triangle trikonasana, so left leg straightens. Oh, that feels good. Okay, you might want to pop that right heel towards you just a little bit, a little smidgen. Okay, soften the shoulders. And let's take that left hand to the front of the mat. Don't release to the floor yet. You will feel the inside of the left thigh opening, that hip flexor. And then we sweep the left hand down to the ankle or the floor or a block. And we lift that right hand up to the sky. One more breath. Okay, gaze to the floor. Come through your warrior. And let's sweep that right hand up to the sky, down to the earth. Left foot back to right. Oh, wonderful. You are in your plank pose. So keep the elbows tucked and we lower to the floor in a one straight line. Okay, so try not to collapse at the last moment. Gauge the abdominals and lower. Nice and slowly. Wonderful. Untuck the toes. Coming into pranam. So you're on the floor. You can bring your hands together above your head, or you can place your forehead on top of your hands. Just feel the belly relaxing into the floor, the lower back of the spine, the lower spine just softening. Okay, maybe a little wobble, a little movement of the hips. Forehead to the hands. Just one more breath before we start moving through to the core cultivation, the part where it really wakes up our abs, our core, strengthens all the muscles around our spine. Okay, hands come underneath the shoulders. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. There we go. Couple of breaths here. And then I'd like you to move through to plank. Okay, so we're going to give you options in this core part of the class, okay? So, right knee comes down to the floor. Left leg is still straight. Okay, so that right knee is on the floor. I'd like you to then take your right ankle out to the side of the mat. So for me, it goes anti-clockwise, but it might be different for you, depending on which way you're facing. Okay, then with the right hand stays underneath the right shoulder, you come to the floor with the left foot and you sweep that left hand up to the sky. Yeah, this just feels nice. This is opening. Okay, lifting that hip, opening the body. And breathe. Just check that right foot has come all the way around. It's not sort of here somewhere. Okay, let's swap over. So we bring the left hand to the floor. We bring the left knee to the floor. Extend that right foot out to the back of the mat. Then you take the left foot to the side of the mat and you come onto the sole of the right foot. So basically just mirror imaging what you've just done. Okay, lifting up. Soften that left shoulder. Lift that right hip. Look up to the right hand or look straight ahead or look down to the floor. Okay, now we're going to move through to planks. So the option is you could just keep going with this, but at least just try plank. Okay, right hand comes down through to plank. Okay, feet are hip width apart. We're just going to take the heels to the side so the feet aren't stacked. Okay, you're just taking those heels to the side and sweeping that left hand up to the sky. Lifting those hips, look up to the left hand. Lift hips, one more breath. Then left hand comes down. Lift the heels up through center and then they come through to the other side. Right hand comes up to the sky. Lift hips. One more breath. Okay, so you can keep doing this or you can revert back to the original with the knees on the floor, or we take it a step further to Parshvavastasana. So come through to center plank. If you want to just pop the knees down, give yourself a couple of breaths. Okay, back through to plank. Take the left foot behind the right knee. Mind the blanket. That could have been interesting. Lift that right hip. Left hand comes up and over. Okay, so you're on the ball of the left foot. One more breath. Sweep that left hand down. Come through center plank. Come to the other side. So the right foot behind the left knee. Draw the hips up. Extend that right hand up and over. Oh, opening the heart, the right side of the body. Lift that left and right hip. One more breath. Okay, sweep that right hand down. Come through to plank, lowering all the way to the floor. So you just activated your core and your arms, pretty much everything in that. And forehead on top of hands. We're not going to stay here for long, so really find that connection with the breath. Feel the prana, the energy moving around the body, clearing just everything in the body. Boosting those energy levels. Letting the happy stuff kick in. One more breath as we move through to our floor sequence. Okay, hands come underneath the shoulders. Look down to the floor. Inhale, upward dog. There we go. So we're in upward dog. Now keeping the knees, I want the knees on the floor in your upward dog. And I just want you to lift the hips. Wonderful. And then just bring the hips back towards the heels and bring your knees together. So we're coming into peaceful warrior. Okay, so you're just literally taking your hips back to your heels. And then remember Anjali Mudra. Okay, so bring the palms together, connect your palms. And bring your forehead to the floor. Extending the tailbone back down to the heels. And extending the fingertips towards the top of the mat. So you'll feel a stretch in the underneath of the arms. One more breath. Okay, we're going to come up nice and slowly. So just take the gaze forward. Maybe put the palms of your hands on the floor and just sweeping up. So. Okay, so you're kneeling. Hands on your thighs, just a couple of breaths here. So just remember as we move through the next flow, we're really opening the heart now. We are warmed up, our core's engaged, and we're just enjoying this flow, this opening of the heart. Okay, take the hands down to the floor, behind you. So the fingertips ideally are facing away from you, but if that's too much for you, just bring the fingertips towards you. Okay, and the hands are either side of the feet, so they're not behind the feet. They're either side of the feet, just to the outside of the hips. Okay, now look down towards the floor, just to above your knees. Okay, now we're going to inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades and look up. Really drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting the heart forward and then up. Now inhale, exhale, open. Now on the next inhale, see if you can just lift those knees off the floor. Inhale, lift the knees off the floor. And then just opening the heart a little more. So engage the abdominal muscles, draw the knees together, push down the tops of the feet into the floor. One more breath. And wonderful. And release the knees to the floor. Okay, coming up onto our knees, moving through our camel sequence. So the tops of the feet can be on the floor or you can tuck your toes. So tops of the feet on the floor or tuck your toes. Bringing your hands to your lower back. Okay, looking straight ahead. Now just make sure those knees are underneath the hips or hip width apart. If you want to roll the mat up under your knees because you want some softness under the knees, go for it. Or use a blanket. Okay, it's really important to make sure that you're not just worrying about your knees when you're doing this. Make sure you're comfortable. Okay, inhale, look up to the sky. And then sweep that right hand up to the sky. So the left hand is staying on the lower back, Right hand up to the sky. You can even take it a little further, sort of sweeping the sky, taking the gaze further back. Popping the hips forward. One more breath. And right hand comes up and down. Let's do the left side. Okay, so look forward, squeeze the elbows. Inhale, sweep the left hand up and back if you like. Or just keep the hand to the sky, keep the gaze forward. Okay, just keep those hips forward. One more breath. Wonderful. Coming up and back down. Okay, taking away a blanket if you've got one. Okay. And then we're just going to come down into tabletop. So check those shoulders above wrists, hips above knees. We're going to inhale. We're going to draw the energy in and take that knee to navel. Inhale. Exhale, sweep that right knee up and look forward, opening the heart. Maybe do a little circle with the right ankle. Now inhale. Exhale, sweep that right foot through in between the hands. Wonderful. Okay, that left hip's a little further forward than the left knee. We're going to sweep the hands up through to our Anjali Mudra, but we're going to keep going, doing a full mandala circle with the hands, opening that heart. That should feel nice. Made me smile. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Back up. Sweep the hands up to the sky. Let's come into a little twist. So the right hand comes down to the floor, sweeping it down. Then it comes to the back of the mat and the left hand comes to the front of the mat, palms facing away from you. Soften that shoulder. Maybe engage that right glute, pop that left hip forward. Okay, and just enjoy the upper twist of the torso, the twist of the upper torso. Okay, so you can look to the side of the mat or the back of the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Okay, we're going to sweep the hands up to center, face the top of the mat. Inhale. Okay, look up to the hands. Now, exhale, left hand sweeps down to the floor. And if you can, bring it to the left ankle. Okay, here we go. So, your right knee's bent. Pop that left hip forward, right hip back. Right hand is up to the sky, looking up to the sky. Now that left rotator cuff, shoulder, is opening. Left arm straight, breathe. One more breath. Okay, we're going to come up nice and straight. So just lift the hands up. Right hand comes down to the right knee. Okay, now we are going to take the left foot with the left, take the left foot with the left hand. Okay, so if you can't do that, just bring your hand to the lower part of the back. If not, take the foot. If you've got a strap nearby, go for it. Just put the foot in the strap. Okay, then we're going to take the right hand out in front of us. So the right arm's parallel to the top of the right leg, right thigh. Then draw that left foot into the left hand and draw the right hand forward. There we go. Breathe. Square those shoulders to the top of the mat. One more breath. Now take the right hand down and see if you can take both hands with the left foot. Okay, if you can't, just take the hands to the lower part, lower back. Okay. Open that heart, squeeze the shoulders, breathe. One more breath. Okay, wonderful. Release that left foot down to the floor. Okay, coming into Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Okay, so take that right foot out in front of you. Left hip above left thigh, left hip above left knee. Pop that right hip forward. And you want to ideally draw the belly button towards the right thigh. Okay, but you want to keep the chest open. So you can take the hands as far forward as your hamstrings allow, or you can stay lifted and take 2 blocks. Look forward and look down. Close the eyes. Make sure you're not really drawing the shoulders and rounding the shoulders. You want to stay open here. Take your attention to the back of the right leg. Breathe into that stretch. Toes are facing the ceiling. One more breath. Okay, take the right foot, the sole of the right foot onto the floor. Tuck the toes in the left foot and take the left knee off the floor. In the high lunge position, left hand comes down to the left thigh, left hand comes down under the left shoulder, and right hand comes up to the sky into another twist. This feels good. Breathe. Energy's coming out of those fingertips. Left heel to the back of the mat. And release that right hand down to the floor. I'm going to sweep that right foot to the back of the mat. 3-legged dog. So that should just feel really nice and opening on the left leg and the right leg. Stand that right heel to the back of the mat. And then we're going to sweep that right knee forward into pigeon. Okay, so we come forward. We take the right knee to the right side of the mat. Okay, and we draw that the right foot towards the left side of the mat. Okay, you might be able to get the calf parallel to the top of the mat. You might not. Doesn't matter. If you've got a block nearby, you could pop it underneath the right thigh, right hip. Okay. Stay high for now. I just want you to open the hips, settle into the pose. Okay. Breathe. And then in your own time, work your way forward, coming on to perhaps your forearms. If you have a block again, you could just come onto your block. You're going to feel the inside of the right thigh, the outside of the right thigh just opening. This is an incredible pose for opening the hips, the psoas muscle, and the mind. You can bring the forehead to the floor. Do whatever feels good. Hands out in front of you. Hands resting on top of forehead, on top of hands. And take about another 3 breaths. Keep your eyes closed and just feel that right side of the body stretching, settling. One more breath. Okay, let's lift gently out of pigeon. Okay, so just come up, nice and gently, hands frame the right knee, tuck the toes on the left foot. Okay, we're going to sweep that right leg back into 3-legged dog. It needs it, it likes it. The right leg wants to move there. So we inhale and we sweep it up and we go, yes, that feels good. And then exhale. Right leg comes down and let's pop the knees to the floor and work into Anahata. Okay, puppy pose. Hips above knees, forehead to the floor. Couple more breaths. Keep the elbows off the floor. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Draw the navel up to the spine. Push down into the tops of the feet. Okay, lift the gaze and draw your hands towards you, bringing the hips down to the heels, bringing the knees together. As we did before, peaceful warrior with our hands together. Try not to round the upper back too much. Just draw the tailbone down to the earth, feeling connection with the tummy and the thighs. One more breath. Okay, come up nice and gently, nice and slowly, uncurl. coming up to your kneeling position. Okay, let's work through the other side. So just check you're in a nice alignment, hips facing forward. Okay, bring the hands to the back of the mat, fingertips away if you can. Okay, inhale, open the heart. Keep the knees on the floor to begin with. Drawing the heels of the hands down to the earth, squeezing the shoulder blades. Now inhale again. Exhale, lift the knees off the floor and maybe opening the heart a little bit more. One more breath. And then release the knees to the floor. Look straight ahead, straight in the spine, and come up onto your knees. Tuck the toes if you like. Bring the hands to the lower spine. So we've already done this on one side. So we've created that groove. We know what we're doing. Let's do the other side. Okay, inhale, hips forward, look up to the sky, squeeze those elbows. Left hand comes up to the sky and draw towards the back of the mat. If you can, or keep it high. And then release. Let's do the right side. Inhale, right hand comes up towards the back of the mat. One more breath. And then bring that right hand down to the earth. And then untuck the toes. Settle the hips down towards the heels and then come forward into tabletop. Just taking it in stages because we're looking after the spine. Okay, inhale, left leg, left knee comes in, tuck in, push through the hands, round the upper back. Exhale, lift that left knee up and look forward. You can tuck the toes in the right foot if you want and maybe just circle that ankle. Make sure you're not sinking in between the shoulder blades. Push through the hands. Now inhale through the nose. Exhale, sweep that left foot through in between the hands. Okay, check that left knee's above the left ankle. Open the heart, look forward, sweep the hands up into Anjali Mudra. Big smile, and then sweep the arms around. Let's do that again. 2 more. 1 more. If that doesn't open the heart, I don't know what does. Inhale, lift the hands up to the sky. Okay, coming into our twist. Left hand comes down to the floor and then to the back of the mat. Right hand to the front of the mat. Okay, so engage that left glute. Pop that right hip forward. Soften the shoulders. Maybe take the gaze to the back of the mat. That's it. Drawing in the navel, lifting through the spine, and then twisting the upper torso. 1 more breath. Okay, inhale, sweep the hands up to center. And now keep the left hand pointing towards the ceiling. Right hand sweeps down to the floor and comes back to the right foot, right ankle. Okay. There we go. Okay, soften that right shoulder. Lift that left hand up to the sky. Draw that left knee above the left ankle. Opening that right rotator cuff. 1 more breath. Okay, we're going to bring that right hand up and bring the hands down. Left hand to the left knee. I'm going to pop a little blank under my right knee here. Okay, I can feel it. Use your blanket. Okay, left hand is on the left knee. I want you to draw your right heel towards you. Take hold of your right ankle with your right hand. There we go. Then we're going to just stretch that left hand out in front of us. So the upper arm's parallel to the left thigh. Then we're going to draw that right foot into the right hand. So there's some resistance in that right foot going into the right hand. And draw forward. Just slightly. One more breath. Okay, lift and take the left hand behind and take the foot, both hands on the foot. Draw that foot into the hands just to open the heart. There we go. Squeeze the shoulder blades. One more breath. Wonderful. And release that foot down to the floor. Okay, pop away the blanket if you want to. I'm going to keep it there. We're coming into Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Okay, so left heel comes forward. Notice how you feel on this side. You might have not needed your blocks on the other side. You might need your blocks on this side. Or just keep lifted. We want to really work into the back of the left leg. Toes facing the ceiling, opening the heart, looking forward and breathing. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, look down. Close the eyes if you'd like to, just going inward. Taking the exhale to the back of the left leg. One more breath. Okay, come on to the sole of the left foot. And then take that right knee off the floor. So if you're in a high lunge position, right hand underneath the right shoulder, and we sweep the left hand up to the sky. There we go. Now don't sink into that right shoulder. Really lift and twist. Breathe. One more breath. Okay, take that left hand to the floor and sweep that left foot back to three-legged dog. We know it wants to. Inhale, stretch. Inhale, enjoy. Now let's inhale. Exhale, sweep that left leg through into pigeon. So the left knee comes to the left side of the mat. You extend the right foot to the back of the mat. And again, if you want to pop a block, please do so, or a blanket under that right hip. Go for it. Okay. She chucks it away. Okay, look forward. Just don't go down yet, just settle. Close the eyes. And then you could just keep the eyes closed and just melt down towards the floor. Okay, come onto the elbows. Take the forehead on top of the hands or stretch the arms out in front of you. One more breath here. Oh no, two more. Let's do two more. Not giving you enough time. Okay, lift the gaze. Come up onto your hands, nice and gently. Okay, square the shoulders and the hips to the top of the mat. Tuck the toes on the right foot. And let's sweep that left leg back to three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale. Through to downward dog. Your last downward dog. Okay, so let's just take 3 breaths here. Inhale. 1. Inhale, 2. The last inhale. Let's take the exhale out the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Popping the knees to the earth. Moving through Anahata. So making your way down to the floor gently. Okay. Just honouring your practice. Moving slowly, mindfully.
coming onto the floor, onto your tummy, and roll over onto your backs. Okay. So on your back, I'd like you to bend your knees. That's it. So just bring your knees to the hips apart, hands down by the floor, and I just want you to cross your right knee over your left. That's it. Then we're going to take that right knee over to the left side of the floor and take your gaze over to the right. Okay, so your right leg over your left, and then you take your right knee to the floor. You might want to stretch your arms wide if you've got space, or above the head, or come into cactus arms. Look over to the right, okay. Just feeling the spine decompress. Draw the knees away from you. One more breath. Come up nice and steady. Uncross the legs. Okay. Left knee crosses over right. That's it. Then you take your left knee to the floor. And then just take the gaze over to the left. My tummy was rumbling then. I don't know if you could hear that. Okay. So it's softening. Keep those shoulders on the floor. Enjoy that lovely expansion of the spine, the front of the body. One more breath. Okay, let's bring the knees back to center, untwist, unhook the left knee and stretch out through to your Shavasana. Please just spend Shavasana, even if it's just a couple of minutes. Don't jump. Okay, just, even if you just think, if you've got the time, just do it. Just lay there. Count your breath, count 10 breaths, count 20 breaths. I am, as always, going to leave you here. You have completed your offering to yourself or to whoever else it was. Keep the lower spine connected with the earth. Soften the shoulders. And enjoy your Shavasana. Namaste.